The hallway outside the Naval Medical Wing was silent except for the steady hum of fluorescent lights and the distant echo of footsteps on polished tile. Admiral Marcus Hale moved with the same precise bearing he had in command, but his stride was measured by something else, a restrained urgency, edged with disbelief. Earlier that day he had received an unusual intelligence notification, a manually escalated low-priority alert that bore no rank, no signature, and only 4 words that had unsettled him more than any operational brief. "She's alive. Ward 3B, asterisk." There had been only one officer whose absence had shadowed him for nearly a decade, Commander Selene Aaron. 9 years earlier, during Operation Nightfall, a classified infiltration intended to neutralize a prototype weapons system, her team had been lost. The mission collapsed. Only one body had been recovered, badly damaged. Aaron's transponder had gone silent. Despite exhaustive searches and recovery efforts, she was declared killed in action and commemorated with the others. Now the message insisted otherwise. Admiral Hale paused at the door toward 3B, hand lingering on the handle. He exhaled and entered. Commander Aaron sat upright in the hospital bed. Her auburn hair had been closely cropped. Her skin was pallid as though she had seen little sun. A bandage wrapped her left forearm. A fresh contusion marred the base of her neck. Yet her storm-gray eyes retained the same unyielding intensity he remembered. "Admiral," she said, voice steady despite the room's hush. "Commander Aaron." The name left him like a benediction. He remained standing, uncertain whether to salute, to embrace, or simply to remain present. She offered a small, rueful smile. "You thought I was dead, so did I for a time." Hale's face tightened. "Where have you been?" Her eyes drifted to the floor. "Captured, detained, forgotten," she replied plainly. "I was taken alive immediately after I activated the fail-safe. I executed the abort sequence, but then they had me. They disabled my communications and removed every tracking device. The compound was off-grid, deep in an unpatrolled southern corridor. They drugged me for months." He listened, every officer's instincts bristling. She did not yet reveal the full scope. "They tried to break me every day," she continued. "I refused to give them anything, no codes, no intel. I endured. Eventually I escaped after 7 years. I slipped away on a supply boat during a monsoon, and it took another year to reach a secure location where I could send a signal and then more time to recover enough to stand." Silence filled the room as Hale gathered himself. When Aaron spoke again, her voice was quieter, determined. "I want you to see something." He resisted, but she rolled the hem of her gown upward. A long healing incision traced from her lower ribs toward her hip, red and tender. Along her flank, her skin bore a regular series of faint, linear scars, each precise as if made with a surgical blade, tallies of endurance rather than random violence. "They counted," she said softly. "Each time I refused to cooperate, each time I gave them nothing. I stopped counting after 92. Hale turned away briefly, an instinctive recoil from the visceral record. When he faced her again, a mixture of anger, shame, and respect settled over him. "You saved the fleet, Selene," he said finally. "You prevented the strike." She inclined her head. "I stopped that missile, but there are things they still have. I know their layout, their defensive posture, and what they are building. I also know what they intend to deploy next." Hale's expression hardened. "What do you mean?" She met his gaze without flinching. "They're developing a weapon that masquerades as humanitarian aid, a synthetic vaccine delivery vector encoded to spread a pathogen selectively. It's engineered to bypass initial detection and propagate before anyone realizes it was deliberate." Hale's voice went cold. "We'll need a coordinated joint force strike." "No," she interrupted. "You won't put a task force through their surveillance. You'll get no official record. You need me. I can infiltrate their systems, move through their rotation without triggering alarms." Hale studied her. You should be recuperating. You need medical care and debriefing." "I survived that place to finish the job, not to recover from it," she said. "If you send a team, you risk exposure and escalation. If I go, I can get in and get out with the intelligence we need. If things go wrong, I know the consequences. I accept them." A beat of silence followed. The Admiral's responsibility balanced against the officer's resolve. "I'll authorize a Black Ops return," Hale said at last. "No official footprint off the books, limited personnel, and your lead. If you succeed, we neutralize the threat quietly. If you fail, then you do not have to carry my name back," she finished. "I will not ask for recognition." Her voice was resolute, and pain flickered across her features as she stood, favoring her injured side. Hale offered a steadying hand, then withdrew it. "You don't owe us, Selene, we owe you." She allowed herself the barest of smiles. "I didn't come back broken, Admiral. I came back forged." He watched her depart the ward with measured steps, every inch the officer she had always been. "No," she said under her breath as she reached the door and glanced back once. "I came back weaponized." And with that, Commander Selene Aaron, once presumed dead, walked again into the shadows, not as a casualty of war but as an active instrument of its resolution.